Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Marwell Manor. Today is the first day of summer and what we need to do is we need to get on with our crops. We need to make sure they are fully fertilized. So what we need to do is first up we need to customize this tractor. So our little Arion here, we are going to change the wheels and hopefully the Michelins don't offer us it. So let's head over to the Trelleborgs and we want hopefully some narrow tires. There we go. So we're going to go with those narrows. Yeah, those are what we need. It's not going to cost us anything to put those on, which is absolutely fantastic. Yes, so we're going to purchase that for nothing. And then we're going to head up to the shop and we're going to go and get ourselves a trail sprayer. Because trail sprayers, to be honest, don't get used that often. But for this map, I think will be a perfect fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one of the trail sprayers. We're going to get the Kuhn one. And we're going to get field 18 sprayed. Now, my hope is that although it has the slightly smaller tank, we might go further. What we could do, and I think might be an even better idea, is to get the front-mounted tank as well. And we'll compare the cost of the Hardy to the cost of the Kuhn with the front tank, because I think that would be a great setup. Those two will work together, I believe. So yeah, we're going to give it a try. We're going to find out how well that works. We've only got 58,000 at the moment, so we are going to have to borrow a little bit more money. And we are sort of borrowing our way into a bit of a hole here. So we'll have a look at that when we get up here. But yeah, there we go. Let's have a look at the price of everything then. So, crop protection. The front tank holds 1,500 and would add 8,000 to the 84,000. So, that would be 92,000 for that versus the 115 for the navigator. We would be within very close range for the amount that we can hold in those. So yeah, the Metris with the front tank is definitely the better way to go. And then on top of that, we need to get some pallets of we're gonna have to get these fertilizer tanks, which at 2,000 each. So we're gonna need 3 of those. So we're gonna need about 10,000 for that as well. So in all, we're going to have to borrow about 50,000. So let's get that done. As painful as it is, it's going to take us up to 385,000 borrowed, which is not great. But we kind of need to do in order to get this. So yeah. So front tank, we want to buy that. And back. And then the Metris as well, we'll buy that. And back. And then, as I said, we need 3 pallets of the fertilizer. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect. Let's go and do this. So that leaves us with 6,000. So we actually borrowed 5,000 more than we needed to. Our first thing we need to hook up is the front tank, because that will be the better, or that will make things, it'll be easier to hook up this now than it will be to try and hook this up once we have the sprayer on the back. And then hook up the sprayer to the back. And hopefully this will then have all the stuff going to it as well. There we are. So that has hooked all of that up. So that is our setup for this. Let's lift the front tank. I don't think we can lift the back. We can't lift the back. And we'll select the front tank first and fill that. So if we look at that, that is then filling. Absolutely perfect. Switch to the rear tank and we'll just pull this forwards. And we'll start sort of turning this way. But yeah, there we go. So we have a nice full set there. So this won't quite hold 6,000, but it will come pretty close to it. Yeah, 5,880. So there we're going to be leaving a little bit of fertilizer here. Hopefully, though, this is going to be enough for us to get this job done. So there we go. That is now filled. Now let's have a look at this setup here. So, yeah, that's quite a nice setup. Hopefully, this should work with any luck. And yeah, we want it to basically get as far around field 18 as we possibly can. Doing that is, yeah, it's going to actually finish off. I think it actually finishes off the fertilizing on field 18. If not, it comes pretty close. My worry is field 18 is getting very, very close to being in a state where we can't fertilize it any further. So that is worrying me slightly. But yeah, there we go. So let's fold out our sprayer. And we're going to do the headlands first. Now, I'm not sure if I put... Let's check. No, so we do not have the GPS on this. So we're going to have to roughly guess this a little bit. So GPS might be a good upgrade for this tractor as soon as we can. It was something that we didn't initially think we were going to need. But if we're using it as a sprayer tractor, then that would be quite good. Now, do we have the spraying regulation on here? We don't. So I think I do like that mod. It makes things a little bit more realistic as far as spraying goes. But it's not going down too fast, so it's all right. Let's put the cruise control on, and away we go around the field. And yeah, that is running quite nicely now. Well, we are spraying in the rain, but it's not too heavy a rain, so that's why I'm going in this. We just kind of need to get this done. And I'm very aware that we're probably going to end up skipping a day because we're on essentially day 7, but this is our 9th video on this map. So we did have a day early on in spring where it basically because we reset the number of days in seasons, it gave us 2 day 3s, I think it was, and then on. And then last time, of course, we continued in 1 day to do 2 videos. So we want to make sure that we're in a position where we catch up with the numbers. So at some point in the summer, once we've got everything sorted here, we will do a jump ahead, and we will miss out a day, and that will bring us closer to harvest as well, which is good. But yeah, so we're going to get this field sprayed, and we're going to continue on a bit, and we'll come back when we have a little bit more to report, I think. We've finished the headlands, and we've only used, well, we're down to 75%, so that is not bad at all. I'm happy to have gone around the headland, only dropped to 75%. We're heading down the field now because we're going to start along this edge here. We want to follow the same way that the field has been planted. And we have a rough idea of that. In fact, we can see here. Yeah, there we go. So that is where it is. And we can see here that that is the angle the field has been planted at. Like that. So that's where we're going to go. Now, we're looking at this. We are going to end up... Yeah, there we are. So that is... I think that's 125. We're looking at this. Yeah, 125. So that's the way it's been planted. Now, you can see that we are leaving a bit of a bit down the side. So I'm going to have to try and get rid of that little bit. And it is... Basically, and we should have put this on there. You can see exactly what we're doing there. Let's put that on cruise control. And it's leaving this bit down here. So that's not ideal. I could have gone a little bit further. But at the moment, that's okay. So we've got the headland done. You can see this is going to do the full fertilization on this, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very pleased to see that we're in that position. Now, I just need to work out what the complete opposite of 125 degrees is, because I'm not 100% sure myself. But we'll stop this at this end. There we go. And what I'm going to do is bring this round, and we'll come back to that bit in a minute. We're going to, at the moment, do that, which should be, looks like it's going to be 305, I think is the opposite, which is good news. So let's get that over there. So yeah, 305 and 125 seem to be our two angles. So that's perfect. We will stay on this. And yeah, we're at 68%. So we should have enough fertilizer available to us to get this field done, I think, which is fantastic news. We are down to 50% left on our fertilizer. We are about 50% of the way through the field, if not a little bit further than that, which is fantastic news. We are sitting exactly on 125 degrees. Actually, we're 125.1 at the moment, but this is running very smoothly at the moment, and I'm very, very pleased with this setup. This class tractor is working absolutely brilliantly with this, and I'm just, the only fear I have at the moment is I can see the amount going down on that rear one. I can't. Well, I can't see it going down on the front one. So yeah, when we hit that 1,500. It will be interesting to see what we have. Now, I have just put a bare patch in the field because I was trying something at that point. So that isn't perfect. But yeah. And it's quite good. This end of the field is actually fairly well in line with the direction we're spraying in. The top end isn't. Very much isn't. It has a quite an angle on it, but we are doing okay. We've been able to turn and make the settings there. I'm quite pleased because I'm managing to do this without GPS, which is absolutely brilliant. You know, it's one of those things where in the bottom left hand corner, sorry, you can see the compass. You can see we're at we're sort of moving between 305 and 304.9, but that is giving us, and you can probably see, a nice straight edge along there. I am basically not touching my wheel while I'm running up here for fear of knocking it off this course. But it is running it really nicely at the moment. So yeah, this is going stupendously well. And this, without the headlands, this would be the halfway point. But we did do the headlands, and we know that it took about 25% of our fertilizer to do them. So yeah, we are well over halfway through this field at this point. And yeah, I think we have enough fertilizer to do it. Now we're on our last full width row. We have 27% left, but crucially, this is the point where we're about to switch over from our rear tank to our front tank. So I am intrigued. If this works, this should be absolutely fine. So let's see. We are 40 odd litres away from this switch over. And I'm really, really hoping that this is going to hold. A little bit nervous here. Here we go, and yes, it has switched over to the front tank. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this is a great setup. It's cheaper than the other setup, and does work. You can have this front tank on with this sprayer, and as a result, you do get that extra 1,500 litres to play with. So we'll turn that off there. Now, as I said, yeah, that was the final full width row, but there is just a little bit, as you can see on here, down here. So there's this little section here in this corner that we just want to go and get covered as well. And there it is. There was a mod out in FS19 that basically you could turn individual, or it turned individual nozzles on and off, depending on whether how much of the field you were trying to spray at the time. And I kind of wish it was in FS19, because I think it would be brilliant. Right, so there we go. That is this field done. We'll get off here, and we're going to head back up to the shop now. We're going to go and grab the rest of the fertilizer, because with this much left over, we might be able to get most of field 15 done as well. Now, field 15, if we have a look at it, is about maybe half the size of field 18. It's certainly no larger than that. We know that we have about a third left here, but we also know we've got a little bit left on the at the actual shop. It's not a huge amount. It certainly should be enough to top off our front tank, though, and hopefully it might be enough to do field 15 if we're lucky and if we're careful. So that's our aim today, is to get that done. I was looking at whether the sheep needed any work or anything like that today. They actually don't, so that's good news. We are just in a position where we can sort this out and do this. So yeah, we wanna do this, and then we may get some more work done with the sheep soon. There we go. In fact, yeah, it's not quite a full front tank, so this is going to be close. It would be very nice if this did all this. I'm not sure it's going to, though. But yeah, as I say, we're going to have to do some grass work. We did cut our grass sort of mid-spring, so we're looking... so what I think we're going to do is we're going to probably jump a day forwards, go to day 3 of summer, and cut our grass. We're looking to basically do what we were doing last time. So we want to cut and bale into grass. So we're probably gonna use both tractors together in tandem in order to do that. So immediately row up the stuff, because I want to fill the silage pit, because we are going to get the cows very soon. But actually, you know what? I'm actually in a position where I'm going, well, maybe we don't want to do silage, but yeah, we could make a lot of money off silage as well. So yeah, there is that, and we do have enough hay bales at the moment to do our sheep. So yeah, it's a bit of a trade-off all round. I think the summer drying actually might be a better time for us to do hay bales, and then in the autumn, once we got our harvest out of the way and got our fields maybe replanted, we'll have a look and see it doing some silage. Quite possibly. Maybe once we've got the new tractor and we're able to do a full three set follow me, we will see, I think. For now, though, yeah, we've got this spraying to do. With this done, this will finish off our crops and get us in a position where we can head into the rest of summer and going into the autumn and harvest itself. With a full set of fields, and this should bring us in a really nice profit on these. Coming up to the end of the headland, and yeah, I do not have enough fertilizer for the rest of this field, I don't think. We're in a position where we have 34%, so it's taken 2/3 of our fertilizer to get where we are. Unfortunately, there is not a third of this field left. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to spray this field, but I think we're going to end up in a minute having to refill it. Right, we want 180 here, preferably. Oh, it's quite a way off. There we go, 180. So yeah, I think we're gonna end up refilling this. We have only 400 odd liters of fertilizer left. I think we've got away with a lot, to be honest. I don't think we're gonna need more than one more pallet or one more tank of fertilizer. But it is a case of we're in a position where we are going to have to buy some. Unfortunately, it's going to send our money that little bit further down. But we need to spend it to make it at the moment. So, yeah. Now, have we reached the end of this row? Yes, we have. Let's keep going and let's find out where we end. And this next one's going to be fun because we've got a telegraph pole in the middle of it. Right, so I'm going to bring up to the telegraph pole here and brake. And what we'll do is we'll then steer around it. Reversing this up did not go the way I wanted it to, which is going to, yeah, that is going to be absolutely perfect for us in a minute. So I'm going to turn this on and, yeah, seeing as we've got to buy some more anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go around this telegraph pole. Get this sprayed so that it's covered like so. We'll just bring this in here, as we know we've got another one in a minute, probably along the same line, to be honest. Right, there we go. Try and keep ourselves away from it. There we are. And continue on. Yeah, and this next one is in the same, sort of the same distance. So there must be a sweet spot actually for these telegraph poles, which you could just run this between. I presume. We will have to see. So coming up to the end of the row, and we are down to our last 20 litres. We finished this row. What I'm going to do is, this is as good a place as any for us to refill. So we're going to head back down the shop while that does up, and we'll go and grab another tank. Get this filled up, and yeah, and then we can come back. So it has been a fairly costly day, but this is going to up the yield of our fields. Hopefully this will pay for it. This will cover it all. And as long as we keep our loan in this first year below $500,000, I will be happy. Which is why we're looking, why I'm looking to buy the new tractor after the harvest. Because we will pay off as much of this loan as we can post-harvest, and then we will look to make more money. So let's purchase ourselves another pallet of fertilizer. Buy that. Yes. So this will be 2,000 litres. We're going to put it in the rear tank. So bring that up. There we go. It will probably empty the rear tank before it empties the front one. But 2,000 litres fills up fairly quickly. 2,014 litres. Let's get this back to the field and get this field finished off. That's going to be more than we need. And I need to actually, there's a set of fertilizer tanks I use in other places that hold, that are cheaper and actually hold less. I think I need to bring them in on this map if we're going to be trying to do stuff with pallets rather than placed stuff. I think we should go that way with it, and that way, yeah, it'll cost us that little bit less to do each time. Right, back to the field. Let's find our location. And we do not have a lot of this field left to do, thankfully. Let's fold these out. And again, we're going to be dealing with a telegraph pole this run. Wow, this is so much wider than I figure it for. There we go. And again, we are just to the side of it. Just to this eastern side of this telegraph pole. Which is, yeah. It's quite a difficult thing to navigate around these. And quite often you do see the sort of circular tram lines around these. Where tractors and sprayers and things have done the whole, circle around it. Which is what we're going to try and do now. And this is quite an odd way of doing it. I'm doing because I'm trying to. My sprayer is most definitely too close to it. Right. And so I'm trying to slowly move it out. There we go. So that covered that. Let's turn this off and go and realign ourselves the other side. There we go. And swing round here. Yeah, not the easiest thing in the world, this. To deal with those. But we have dealt with them, and we are back on track. Perfect. Let's get the rest of this field done, shall we? Once again, coming to the end of the last full row, we have 1,250-ish litres left. Let's have a look at how that looks. Yeah, field is looking good. So we'll pop out of our cab. We've got this little strip left here to do. And that will then be our two fields, both nicely fertilised and done. We've not fertilised the grass field, but I don't tend to do much with the grass fields. I'm not sure. At some point I'm going to have to do some tests and see whether there's a massive increase in yield fertilising our grass fields. And because they tend to, the trouble with the grass is that it tends to end up being at its harvest position a lot quicker than other crops. So as a result, you rarely get enough time to actually fertilize it. If we do find that, what we might be able to do is run course play on it. But to be honest, we are at a point where we're looking at. Oh yeah, that's almost done. Let's have a look out here. Yeah, there's a tiny bit there. Where we're looking at getting such a quick turnaround on the grass that there's not much else we can do. That, though, is this finished. We are done. We have just over 1,000 litres of fertilizer left. I think we've got a little bit in the front tank and a little bit in the back. Yeah, that's a little annoying. But yeah, that is that all done and dusted. We'll get this back to the yard and parked up. I think we've sort of got a seed and spray shed over this side, so we'll get this parked up in here. We at some point, I think, want to put our fertilizer spreader in there as well. Kind of, yeah, it's kind of where I want to put supplies as well. But yeah, it's quite a neat little shed, this. But we might need to get a forklift or something to properly get supplies in here, because I think we'll be in a spot of bother if we try and do it otherwise. So let's disconnect that and that. Then what we'll do is we'll put this over the other side wall, out the way. So over here, lower it down, and disconnect it. There we go. So that's out of the way there. And we can go and put our normal wheels back on this tractor, because that's what we need to do after this. That is all closed up. This is back here. Oh wow, this tractor needs fuel. Look at that. We are right on the edge. Thankfully, we are right by the fuel tank. So let's refill that while we're at it. And then we're going to put these, we're going to put the proper wheels on it. But while this is refueling, I think that is probably a pretty good place to end this. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.